Most Reverend George Nkuo, the second residential bishop of the Diocese of Kumbo, was appointed by Pope Benedict XVI in the year 2006. His episcopal ordination and installation took place at the St. Augustine's College Ceremonial Ground on Friday, September 8, 2006. Monday is September 2025 made Bishop George 19 years as Bishop of Kumbo. Before the celebration of the Holy Mass at midday to thank God for the bishop's 19 years of ministry, the staff and students of St. Augustine's College made their way down to the bishop's premises earlier to sing anniversary songs and express their sincerest gratitude to their father, the bishop.
On a very challenging note, we acknowledge your availability and sustenance in our diocese during this period of instability in our country. You have always been with us in stormy and gloomy weather. As the proprietor of our beautiful institution, you have been a father and a canopy over our head. You gave us hope in our despair.
Thank you very much for coming to join me this morning as I mark, it's 19th anniversary of my Episcopal ordination, which took place in South.
The Thanksgiving Mass that was organized for the bishop by the members of his household saw the presence of priests from nearby parishes and institutions, as well as a representation from the bishop's parish, the Cathedral Parish. Father Gengan Binkar, the Chancellor, in his reflection, recalled the grandeur of that day in 2006, when Cardinal Tume thundered a powerful sermon at the bishop's consecration, an event during which he himself chanted the Litany of the Saints, together with Reverend Father Paul Bianzi.
I had the distinguished privilege of singing the Litany of the Saints on that day. Father Rene and his companions had the job of carrying the umbrellas. The priests were anticipating communion. Friday, September 8, 2006 was apparently Reverend Father George's greatest day of glory so far. Bishops and archbishops from all the ecclesiastical provinces of Cameroon, over 200 priests, Catholic Christians, and other well-wishers headed for Kumbo to be witnesses to the Episcopal ordination proper. They numbered several tens of thousands. The ordination rite was systematic, deliberate, and generally solemn. There was, for example, the presentation of the bishop-elect, after which he made promises. 2 deacons, both angelic voices and total articulation and synchrony, created graveyard silence while it lasted, sang the litany of supplication in Latin. Then followed the laying on of hands, anointing the head of the one being ordained and presenting him with the book of Gospels. The rite of ordination was formally done after the bishop-elect was invested with ring, mitre, and pastoral staff through to the sitting of the bishop and the keys of peace. Christian Cardinal Wigan Tumi, as the principal ordaining bishop, conducted the exercise, assisted by the archbishops of Bamenda and Yaoundé, respectively. End of quote. One of the things I recall Cardinal Tumi saying in his homily was a number of times he called the name George. And in his normal, intimidating voice, he said, among other things, "Fear in a bishop is the beginning of disaster. Can he still be an apostle?"
Given a chance at the end of Mass, our Vicar General, Father Oliver Shendi, also stated that our bishop is a father like no other.
You guide us. Many times we always move around. We look around to compare and we ask ourselves, if we had a different bishop, that question is always perplexing us in our minds. But this is God's given, and God gave us at this particular time in the history of this world and the history of the church and for the Diocese of Kumbo.
This morning, with very sincere gratitude to God, I celebrate my 19th anniversary as the Bishop of Kumbo, feast day of the birthday of Our Lady, and it's been wonderful 19 years of blessings, of God's abundant love and care for me and the people of God in this diocese. And we have a small crowd this morning celebrating with me to show exactly how the church in Kumbo is alive and it's growing and it's beautiful, and that God has continued to, in spite of our difficult moments, we'll continue to see God's hand at work in our life, in His support and His blessings. That's wonderful. I'm happy to celebrate today.
I don't want to use those words that distinguish people like privileged people, but we are here because we represent the rest of those who could not be here. And for that we say thank you. And some could not be here, especially that they also said they engaged on procedures that held them back from coming. Our sincere feelings of happiness on this 19th anniversary of the celebration of your episcopate as Bishop of Kumbo. I can imagine and remember when the announcement was made way back in 2006, and to date you have been very faithful as a father to us, the sons and daughters of Kumbo, both within and outside of Kumbo. These are the kind of things you don't like to hear, but for once you just have to listen to us. We thank you for who you have been and continue to be for us and to us, the sons and daughters of the Diocese of Kumbo. And I say this because I know how much and some of the sacrifices you put in to be at our service. Especially when the engagements are multiple, when they are challenging and teasing and trying, you've always done your best either to be physically and personally present or designated a competent authority to represent you at such occasions. You are much more than just a father, you are a brother.